Mount Everest. Mount Everest is the highest point on Earth. It is located on the border between Nepal and China, on the crest of the Great Himalayas. There are no other peaks higher than Mount Everest in the world. The peak is known in Tibetan as Khomolungma, meaning Goddess Mother of the World. Three barren ridges, the southeast, northeast, and west, culminate in two summits. The highest, at 8,850 meters, is named as Everest, and the other at 8,748 meters, South Peak. The ridges are covered with ice that reaches to the base of the mountain. Mount Everest rises about two-thirds of the way into Earth's atmosphere. The oxygen levels at this height are low. The temperatures are very cold and the winds are extraordinarily strong. The summit itself consists of rock-hard snow that is covered by a layer of the softest snow. The depth of the top layer fluctuates annually from 1.5 to 6 meters. It is at its highest in September, at the end of the wet season. The mountain has several major glaciers that cover its slope. The glaciers are fed by avalanches and in turn feed a number of rivers in Nepal and Tibet. The conditions on the higher slopes of Mount Everest are too harsh for any plant or animal life to survive in comparison to the lower slopes of Mount Everest. Mosses and lichens, however, grow in shaded areas at lower levels. Flowering plants are found in some areas. The best known of the people associated with Mount Everest are the Sherpa. They live in villages at altitude of between 2,700 and 4,300 meters in Nepal and Sikkim. The Sherpa were known for their better strength and endurance at high altitudes, and since the 1920s they have helped many people climb the mountain. Mount Everest has long been a challenge to mountaineers and explorers. Several early attempts to reach the summit began with the opening of the Tibetan route in 1920. They failed, however, largely because of the conditions on the mountain, particularly the colder wind and the lower level of oxygen. Mount Everest was first scaled successfully on 29 May 1953 by an expedition sponsored in part by the Royal Geographical Society. Two members of the British expedition, mountaineer Edmund Hillary of New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay, a Nepalese Sherpa guide, were the first to stand at the top of the summit. Since then, there have been a number of successful expeditions. On 16 May 1975, Taibei Junko of Japan, accompanied by Ang Tersing of Nepal, became first woman to reach the summit. In 1993, Pasang Lamu, who died on the way back down, became the first Sherpa woman to do so. In 1996, 8 climbers from various nations died after being caught on the slopes in a blizzard. By 2004, more than 1,400 people had scaled the summit of Mount Everest, but hundreds more had died in the attempt. Mountaineers have been responsible for more careless littering and overconsumption of resources in the areas around the mountain. On the Nepalese side, the mountain and its surrounding valleys are now part of a protected area known as the Sagarmatha National Park, which was set up in 1976. In 1979, the park was declared a World Heritage Site. Beginning in the 1990s, several expeditions were organized to remove used supplies from the mountain slopes, including hundreds of oxygen containers.